Next on Wooster News tonight, remembering fallen firefighter Christopher Roy. Teachers and staff at his high school are pitching in to the fundraising effort. Plus, the Mt.Carmel Preservation Society is calling on the bishop to save the church, but the diocese says the structure is compromised. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. More on those stories in a moment, but first, temperatures are warming up here in Worcester and the rain may stay away this weekend. For more, we turn to meteorologist Tim Kelly.
Yeah, all eyes now on the state of Texas. Even though there's not a lot of cold left outside of New England, it is cold enough that snow developed in Odessa, Texas. This whole system is going to come to the East Coast, but it looks like much of it may be staying to our south, at least the first part of the weekend. Outside right now, we have what's sort of an upper level low and a warm front that's generated some slippery rides, especially west of Worcester in the Springfield area. At one point this afternoon, I-91 had to be closed. Anyhow, there are some icy spots, especially west of the city. The wind is coming in from the southeast, so the temperature's not moving much. Our high temperature today was in the mid-20s, and it's going to hold there, and that's where we're going to be. In the middle of the night, we're still 25. The clouds are going to thin out a little bit. Now, if you did get a little of that moisture, and the clouds do thin out, there may be some black ice around in spots in the morning, but then 26, so it's colder when the sun comes up than goes down. By lunchtime, we're 35 degrees, so we're getting a bit of a thaw, and it's warm enough that a few rain showers possible late tomorrow, early Saturday. Much of the weekend looks dry, though. We'll talk more about it and the potential for some wet or white Monday in a few minutes.
Worcester firefighters and the community are preparing to say a final goodbye to fallen firefighter Christopher Roy this weekend. The 36-year-old died after battling a multi-alarm fire early Sunday morning. Fundraisers for his young daughter are being planned, one of which is at the high school he graduated from. Our Brittany Schaefer is there tonight and joins us live now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, the fallen firefighter graduated from Burncoat High School in the year 2000. Friday, there will be a pancake breakfast in his honor to raise money for his 9-year-old daughter. Students and faculty at Burncoat High School are paying tribute to one of their alums. They are hosting a pancake breakfast honoring firefighter Christopher Roy, a 2000 graduate.
Kids are really passionate about this, knowing that Chris was a kid that sat in the same seats that they do now. Once you're a patriot, you're always a patriot.
Both the middle and high school are teaming up to raise money for Roy's 9-year-old daughter, Ava. Special education teacher Lisa Corzini is close with the Roy family and says it's been difficult for everyone.
To get that call, it was heartbreaking because I immediately went to Ava, to his daughter, and he has sole custody of her. He was a wonderful father. Chris being a firefighter, he worked 2 jobs. She was always with the grandparents. Jay, he was always with Ava. He's taken her to like our kids' birthday parties and stuff like that. So they've always had a huge role in her life. So she's lucky to have them.
According to Corazini, Ava is now with Roy's parents and brother. She says the community is coming together for a hero.
I know there's so many different fundraisers going on right now, and it makes me happy to see like all the support from not just Worcester but beyond.
Whenever there's a need, the Worcester community, they join forces and they do whatever it takes to make the best of an absolutely horrific circumstance.
The high school has sold more than 600 pancake tickets to students so far, and the event is open to the public. Students say Roy's bravery and selflessness is inspiring.
Thank you, Chris Roy, so much. He will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue on, and he's just made a huge impact. Now it's our turn to do the same.
Middle school will be doing a crazy hat day to raise funds. Here at the high school, they'll be hosting the breakfast at 6:30 a.m. with all proceeds benefiting the Ava Roy Fund. Now that fund started on Monday. Checks may be made payable to the Ava Roy Fund and mailed directly to the Worcester Fire Department Credit Union. Live at Burncoat High School, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
A potential threat made to a Worcester public school student leads administrators to send home a notice to parents. Worcester police are investigating the alleged threat made over social media to a Doherty High student. They say there was no credible threat found and no one in the building was in danger. Extra officers were on patrol this morning to ensure the safety of students. A Spencer man is arrested after police say he crashed his car into another vehicle. Police say 21-year-old Justin Boyle was driving without a license when he lost control of his car. Boyle is facing several charges, including negligent operation and revoked registration. No one was seriously injured. An uptick in cases of hepatitis A has health officials warning people to get vaccinated. The city sent out a warning last week, reminding people the importance of vaccinations. Our Rosalind Flaherty joins us now with the details. Rosalind?
Olivia, a doctor at UMass Memorial Medical Center says she's never seen this many confirmed cases before. Says the only way to stop it from spreading is to get vaccinated. An outbreak of hepatitis A in central Massachusetts is concerning healthcare providers. UMass Memorial Medical Center Dr. Maria Wesolowski says there have been 45 confirmed cases since September and 1 death.
Even though only 1% of them can die from this, it is a public health thing.
Dr. Wesolowski says hepatitis A is a highly contagious liver infection. People can get it from contaminated foods or not properly washing their hands. The city is seeing most cases among people using dirty needles and the homeless.
Somebody doesn't know that they have hepatitis A and they share that needle with other, or at least the work where they mix things. That is completely free way to get infected.
She says symptoms include nausea, jaundice, and pain in the abdomen. There is no treatment for the virus, just hydration and rest.
The immune system kind of take care of the infection and also ease down all the inflammation that is caused by the same immune system to try to attack the virus.
Dr. Wesolowski says she has never seen an outbreak like this in central Massachusetts and says the only way to combat it is through vaccinations.
To try to go in the street and actually try to vaccinate and do clinics. We are trying to open any clinic available to try to do this massive vaccination.
Now, she advises everyone to get vaccinated, especially people working with food and with children. Rosalind Flaherty, Wooster News Tonight.
For more than a year, the Mt.Carmel Preservation Society has worked to save the Catholic Church off of Route 290. The Diocese of Worcester says the church is structurally unsound, but the Preservation Society says the building is safe. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now to explain. Chandler?
Olivia, the church's future has been a discussion for years, but those discussions may be nearing their end. The diocese says there isn't enough money to save Our Lady of Mount Carmel, but a preservation society has raised more than $200,000 since 2016 and says it's possible. The Mount Carmel Preservation Society hasn't given up on Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, despite Worcester's bishop declining to meet and discuss their ideas. The Preservation Society has filed several appeals to prevent demolition and currently have 2 in process with the Vatican.
A shepherd, and he doesn't want to talk to us. What do you do? You know, who do you turn to?
The Diocese of Worcester says they've already discussed everything and the building is a safety concern. They say being 25 feet from the highway, the church is rattled by constant traffic and even with repairs would face the same structural issues in the future.
The inside of the building is deteriorating rapidly. The rosettes that are 65 feet high are falling. And if anybody's in there, it could possibly kill them.
Monsignor Stephen Pedoni is the pastor at Our Lady of Mount Carmel and Our Lady of Loretto. He says restoring Mount Carmel would cost millions of dollars and the parish is too small to support it.
We have to be about the church's mission. As I said, not this idolatry of buildings. We should be spending that money on the church's mission. We have to feed the poor. We have to be about spreading the gospel.
But the Preservation Society says their efforts aren't over. They're also looking into deed restrictions for the property so it could only be used for religion, education, or community recreation.
The priority is to save it perhaps to another Christian community or to some social service.
If the idea is to just take these architectural gems down, and again, a community, I don't know where Worcester's going.
Meanwhile, Monsignor Pedoni says 6 groups are considering purchasing the land and most would build housing. He says the money from the sale would go to the parish.
It's sad, but this is an end of an era and we have to go forward.
Monsignor Pedoni says the diocese won't move forward with the sale until they get word on those 2 appeals with the Vatican. The city of Worcester has issued a demolition permit for April 2019. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
The Sterling Police Department is offering residents a safe place to have packages dropped off. The town's police chief says residents can drop off packages to the police station for safekeeping until they're ready to be picked up. The goal is to prevent porch pirates from stealing people's items. Chief Chamberlain says so far only one resident has used the program, but he will continue to do it as long as there is a need.
Not only Sterling, but every community around this time of year has packages stolen from them. And we have probably 6 or so last year. I think as we get a little bit closer to Christmas, it'll pick up a little bit, and as the word gets out there.
Several other departments across the state and country are running similar programs. A sad update on a story we first brought to you in October. Groton Police K-9 Lola has passed away after her battle with cancer. Lola worked for years helping to track down missing people and find narcotics. The K-9 stayed on the job even while going through chemotherapy. According to police, in her final moments, she was surrounded by her family and she will be greatly missed. The Wooster County Sheriff sponsors a toy drive every year around the holidays to put presents in every family's home. This year, a letter to Santa from one of the young people who will benefit from the drive is helping put a spotlight on the struggles many families in Wooster are facing. Our Cam Jandro has the story.
All I want is for my mom to stop worrying about presents for me because I know you and the club will take care of it. Knowing his family is struggling this winter, a child from Worcester's Boys and Girls Club writes a letter to Santa.
I wish I could say I only have one Ramon. I have a lot of kids who are in similar circumstances. Maybe their parents are incarcerated. Maybe their parents have alcohol or substance abuse issues.
Letters like Ramon's are the reason why the Boys and Girls Club of Worcester is taking part in the Holiday Rock Toy Drive. This year, the club will be able to hand out a present to the 2,000 kids they serve.
And it's so important to be able to open something that's just for them. And for some of our kids, they would not have anything if it wasn't for this event.
Holiday Rock is sponsored by the Wooster County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Lou Evangelitis says last year, more than 10,000 gifts were distributed to families across the area.
And we have a country with great abundance. We should make sure that everybody gets a chance to enjoy Christmas and understand that this community cares about them and loves them.
It's a difference between a smile and not a smile. It's a difference between happiness and joy and discouragement.
Evangelitis says Holiday Rock is what sets apart Wooster County during the holiday season.
This doesn't happen everywhere. Worcester is a really special community, and tonight is a perfect example of that.
Hamilton says the Boys and Girls Club helps 80% of the kids at or below the poverty line, but the need goes beyond Christmas.
If people can also think of us during the whole year, that would be very helpful and much appreciated.
Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.